Hey, it's October the 8th, 2014.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is Andy Boatman, and we're going to talk just a little bit about nuggets of good stuff from OTA EncycloMedia. What's your nugget?
And, this was a fantastic conference. My biggest takeaway, I think, was George. Anyway, a fantastic speaker.
What did you take away from him?
One of the things he said was have kids share something positive. And if they're on Twitter and they want to say something about somebody else, make it a positive.
Mm-hmm.
And that was very good. Sharing and depth of knowledge, and don't be afraid to be who you are.
Yeah,
And I
right.
think that's important.
And we need that. We got a lot of fear going around.
Yes.
I've noticed that, but a lot of enthusiasm.
Stand up for what's right.
That's right.
Yep.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
So, Vanessa Perez.
Yes.
I need to put Twitter IDs. If you're not following Vanessa, you need to be. Your good takeaways from OTA EncycloMedia.
Okay, so honestly, it might be a little unconventional, but I learned a lot in the exhibit hall. I went and talked to a few of the vendors. I was lucky enough to have some grant money, and I'm redesigning my computer lab so that it will be more collaborative. And I'm getting rid of all my big screens and doing 42 to 50-inch televisions.
Are you serious?
Linked up to different groups, so the kids will either be able to have it just work through the regular computer, or if they're working in a group, it'll go straight to the big screen, and they can use a wireless mouse and keyboard to easily collaborate. And through HDMI, I would also be able to take over it with my computer, so that way if I need to show something to the whole class. So my original plan was I was going to use an HDMI splitter, but when I talked to the vendor, he was like, no, HDMI matrix. And I had no idea, I've never even heard of that. So, and I searched for different ways to do this, usually from gamers, but I never heard of an HDMI matrix. He schooled me, he's sending me a quote.
So it's like a router for the signals?
Yeah, and it's great because it will also do separate screens, so I can send different things to each screen.
Oh my gosh. Now, did you, when you went to the Google Summit in Richardson, did you visit that teacher's classroom who had those projectors?
Omar Pastrana.
Oh,
he's on Twitter and Pinterest.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Was that an inspiration for you thinking about that?
That was a definite inspiration. And I've got my kids, I've got videos and stuff. They're actually planning out how I reorganize the room because they didn't like it.
Okay, I'm getting excited when you talk about this.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I got the Lowe's grant last year for $5,000. I thought the room was awesome. They came back and they were like, "This does not work for us." So I was like, "You know what? You do it."
So these would be collaboration stations individually, but then you can use them to push stuff, content to them, and wow,
that's great.
Very cool. Anything else from the vendor
From
station
vendor
or the
hall?
socializing time?
Socializing.
I heard rumors that you did some socializing.
I did socialize. I didn't get enough cave time with everybody. But it's great because a lot of the time before I went to Ed Camp, I felt really isolated in Lawton. There was nobody. And now I have this great network.
I feel more connected this year than I ever have, and it's because of Ed Camps and Playdates. It's a huge difference.
Before Ed Camp, my Twitter was actually no Oklahomans. It was people in like England and Spain and Japan that I had met when I went to the Scratch conference in Barcelona.
Yes.
And it wasn't until Ed Camp that I found, I was like, oh my gosh, it's my people.
That's right. And we're here. Yeah,
we're here.
We're here. And we get online every once in a while.
And we keep in contact because I went and stalked him at his school, and I went
That's
to Clinton.
right. And now that you're redoing your school, I'm going to have to come visit your.
It's looking pretty cool.
That's cool. All right.
Okay.
Very good. All right, so just a few more EncycloMedia OTA reflections here to wrap things up. I probably should have thought to do this a little bit earlier, but anyway, I met teachers who are really struggling with their technology departments, and I'm not going to name names or name districts, but I met several who are, for instance, really struggling with tech departments that won't let them purchase apps for iPads, that won't let them have passwords to be able to install apps, manage their iPads. Just, with IT departments that basically are over controlling iPad carts and iPads. One of my thoughts for this would be, how do you address this without getting that person in trouble? How do you advocate for helping that situation? One of my thoughts was to invite some of those people perhaps to come to our district, to Yukon Schools. We're going to be doing a little showcase that Apple Computer is going to put on. We're an Apple Distinguished program. And, perhaps invite them to be able to hear from some of our tech people, we are directly empowered to have our usernames and passwords to install apps. We have a process for purchasing apps and managing. So that's difficult. How do we help move the vision forward for not just teachers, librarians, educators who are here at the conference, but educational leaders who are making decisions about our networks, about our devices, about the ways that we use these technology tools? Probably the most positive thing for me at this conference this year has been the feeling of connection locally, thanks to EdCamp, thanks to our Playdate events, and thanks to Twitter. Our OklaEd hashtag and chat has been huge, but especially our EdCamps. We've had 9 different EdCamp and Playdate events in Oklahoma in the last, 2.5 years. It's gigantic. It's really, really huge. So a great conference, a great opportunity to, learn together. It was awesome for Clinton Public Schools to be recognized as our Technology District of the Year. They are so deserving. They are doing so many great things with their iPad one-to-one initiative, and exciting for Eric Heilman to be Tech Director of the Year. That's very well deserved as well in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City is moving in the right direction in many respects, and definitely one is technology. So there's a few thoughts from EncycloMedia and the Oklahoma Technology Association 2014 conference.